All right. Well, um, I guess I'll start with the introduction then. Hello, my name is Jackson, as you guys know. Fourth year student. I am doing a DA on Five Nights at Freddy's. Looking at specifically breaking past like the expected and like general consensus and kind of pushing the idea that one, uh like YouTube videos and that can be used for education or sharing ideas, and two, thinking outside the box and going against the norm is perfectly good. The community is very gated and like very close-minded with what they think about what's going on in like their theory crafting and the story and stuff, so I want to kind of take it in a different direction, have my own idea. uh the community's going to hate it, but that's the fun about it, is that like pushing a new direction, kind of where I'm going at it. What are you guys working on?
Um, I'll start first. So for me, I'm doing doing streaming on YouTube, streaming probably either Valorant or Marvel Rifles, mostly Marvel Rifles. But so uh, it's a follow up to my previous subject, which is BCM114. But here's like something different, which is the whole uh like development of my channel will be like based on suggestions from AI, which is like ChatGPT, Google Gemini, whatever. So uh suggested by the tutor, by the way. So I'll be following suggestions from the AI and then to develop my channel. It's like I have like a a business team helping me to like develop my channel. So there's my digital artifact. Yeah. How about
Okay, and Steph, what are you working on?
yeah, Steph?
Both of yours sound really sick. Mine is completely different, which I guess is going to be fun for this discussion. So we can talk about the differences. But I'm actually building a website for a business from my hometown. It's called Inflatables R Us. They do work all over New South Wales, but they have like mechanical bull, jumping castles, like different like inflatable like things like the sticky Velcro wall and like archery and stuff like that. But they don't have a website at the moment. They just run a Facebook page that they barely ever use. And pretty much they get calls all the time. Like they're spending so much time like talking to people and they don't really have time for that. So the point of it is to try and create more convenience for them, but obviously also improve business and, you know, like expand their business. Their ultimate goal, like down the line, is to have like different locations rather than just the one. So it's sort of like a stepping stone for them, but I've been really trying to think about how to create convenience for them as business owners, but also for the customer. So looking at things like how I can use AI in the website, like using like an AI chatbot, and just really thinking about how I can future proof a website, which I think is a lot more challenging in some ways than like other sorts of DAs, because a lot of the stuff, like once it's done, it takes a lot more to change it. So
Oh,
there we go.
that's cool. Yeah, it's definitely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I'm
we're at, oh yeah, sorry, what were you saying, Ian?
oh I was about to say like it's interesting how we both are using AI, but in like different ways.
I think in this day and age, like you kind of have to as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I've
yeah.
sort of some of the feedback I got on the first assessment was like to really think about the future, and just like really trying to think about where technology is heading, and like AI is a big part of that. So thinking about now how we can incorporate it and how we can use it is just going to be beneficial in the future for us and other people, I guess. People listening to this in the future, maybe people that are doing DAs,
Yeah.
us doing this and using AI when AI doesn't control everything. Maybe in a few years it'll be so much more than it is now, but it's still, I think, in the beginning stages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a fairly good point. I was thinking before, like our topics are very different, but we
Yeah,
are both, we're, like all three of us are going to be all kind of focusing on like personalized branding on the internet, which I think is a
yeah,
unique kind of outlook. I mean, not necessarily unique in the modern landscape, but like for us as like individuals, like it's unique that we're doing it in three different ways. Like I often stream and stuff, but YouTube is a whole different landmark when it comes to like self promotion and kind of getting into a different frame of reference to like figure out how you want to do it. And streaming is obviously something that um requires a lot of like personal advertising and whatnot. And then website building, like yeah, you're spending a lot of time making the website, but you still have to market that out and make sure that that's getting where it needs to go. So I
Yeah.
think it's interesting. Yeah, we're all going to be doing something similar in the same vein of like pushing ourselves out there. But um, yeah,
Yeah, I agree. I think like all of us are thinking about like I guess like online like image or like personas in different ways. And obviously that's such an important thing right now, but also a really challenging thing to think about and to sort of think about what you want to create and I guess like who you want to be online and then figuring out how to actually convey that. Like they're both such difficult things.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
the other day, Ian and I recorded one of these before we realized we had to have a third person or more.
Yeah.
Oh,
And we were talking about the problem that comes with like self promotion. Like we were talking about starting streaming and the problems that come with it because it's hard to justify pressing that go live button or talking to yourself for anywhere between 10 minutes and 8 hours depending on how long you stream for with no one out there. So the question
yeah,
for you,
definitely.
Steph, is there anything that you've come across so far that is like a big challenge with this DA? Like, is there a like a promotional issue you've come across, like a development, communication, anything like that? Have you come across anything that's like really difficult?
Well, it's sort of like linking to you thinking about streaming and like who's watching and everything. I'm potentially going to do some stuff with this Facebook page as well, partly because I think I kind of will have to. A lot of people know this business, and it's in like a smaller town, like in country New South Wales, so people know the owners. A lot of people tag the owner himself on Facebook rather than like the actual Facebook page. But I think the a lot of the knowledge about the company comes through word of mouth on Facebook. So I think I have to link with Facebook so that people know about the website. Otherwise, there's going to be like no interaction or anything, and I'm going to put all this work for nothing. But I think something interesting as well is just thinking about how different our content creation is. And obviously, both of them take time. I've been struggling to find time to work on things. I guess for you guys, you have to dedicate like some time. Like if you're going to be streaming, like you have to sit down and dedicate like a time to do it, and you have to plan that far ahead. Whereas I can at least, just do a bit here and there. But a lot of the stuff is different because I think for me, like not every day is the same. So not saying that like your stuff is the same, but obviously when you're going live, you sort of know what the process is every time you're going in. When you're making a video, you have your content, like the rough editing process. But there's so many different things that I have to do for this website. Like just starting off by like picking a theme, like picking a color scheme, going through and making all the pages, and then making sure I have like the right written content and images. But then with WordPress, a lot of the stuff that I'll do sort of probably more towards the end is like with what they call plugins. And it's like different features that you can add to the website. And some of those will be like a contact form and like an AI chatbot. But it's just like I never really know what I'm going to be doing and how long things are going to take until I start them. And it's sort of like it's so unexpected. And sometimes I might go on and there might be like an issue that I have to fix. And then there's going to be a process at the end where I have to test everything. And I think almost not having like a straight cut of what I'm going to be doing every day I work on the DA is actually kind of challenging.
Mhm.
So that was kind of like a ramble, but if that makes sense.
No, that's
Yeah.
fine. Um, I guess like do you and Ian want to kind of talk about like your uses of AI and like whether it's helped or like been a hindrance or anything like that? Because like I'm not using AI for my DA, but you guys have that overlap. Like, do you guys want to kind of discuss with each other and whatnot?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I guess it'll be interesting if we
Yeah.
discuss it and then you might think of a way that you could use it. Maybe will
Yeah,
inspire
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so Ian, how are you using it?
I mean, so the way I use it is like I use AI to ask questions like when is the best time to stream? Which game? So I did a comparison between Valorant and Marvel Rivals for AI, and then I asked the AI like, hey, so here's these two games. So which game to stream would be better for me to get feels? Like it's like some stupid question, um, but then the AI will like fully analyze the whole um like the whole competitive scene in content creating, and then give me the answer. So finally, the AI like suggests me to play Marvel Rivals because it's a new game, and then it it would be like better for me to like get views because yeah, it's like less competitive compared to Valorant. Because Valorant content creating, we already have like really famous names in the scene, so it's harder to really get views. Like according to the AI, that's what the AI said. Okay, like I that's like I'm just like adding up with my basic knowledge on streaming. But yeah, so I've been asking questions using AI to get like improvement for my channel, for my content. Well,
That's really
yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Which AI are you using? Like, are you using a specific one? Are you trying different ones or anything?
So right now I'm just using ChatGPT,
Yeah.
which is also not the latest version ChatGPT. That's why it at first it was there's like a misunderstanding about the game because the game is so new that the AI can't catch up.
Yeah, I guess that's a big problem with
Yeah,
AI.
yeah,
My use is, I guess, very different, and it's not really going to play a major role until I get more of the website built.
yeah,
Um, so at this stage, I've just sort of been doing research into what an AI could do for the website because a lot of it is actually going to be like the classic website chatbot where people can ask questions and get an answer rather than contacting the business. And that comes back to me just trying to create convenience for the business and reduce the large amount of phone calls that they get and can't answer. But it's really interesting to think about. So I was just thinking about my own use of like AI chatbots on websites, and that's like such a different experience, like using an AI like that rather than using it
yeah,
for like something like information, because I think like I have to think about it from the business perspective, but also from the customer perspective, and I have to make sure that it's not going to create like a negative view of the business. I have to make sure like the information is accurate, and I think it's like so different considering because I'm going to have, I guess, more control over what the AI, like what information the AI is providing rather than just having information provided to me. I think that's really challenging, and it's just really changed my perspective on the use of AI.
yeah. Cause I mean,
Jack.
cause like for you, you use it to you put the AI into your website, right? If
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not mistaken. Yeah. But for me, it's more like my like the use of AI for me is more like I just take it as my like uh my assistant. So
yeah. I mean, I'll probably use
yeah,
AI more down the track as well, and I'll look at things, I guess, kind of in a similar sense to you, and look at like
yeah,
analytics, and I guess like ask it for an assessment. And then when I'm using the Facebook more, I'll be using more analytics like through that as well to figure out like what I should be putting on the website, and I guess maybe what information people are most likely looking for when they're looking at things like this.
yeah,
Um, but so like there's just so many things. Jackson, I'm just thinking, have you thought of using AI to like consider what content you should be posting or like
Once,
things like
yeah,
when you should be posting?
yeah. Once upon a time,
What's
when kind of like ChatGPT really started blowing up with like second year of uni, it was like started to become like popular in the mainstream, like like really popular. Um, I considered asking that kind of like for YouTube ideas and whatnot, but not really since much since then. Um, it's something. I mean, I personally like the personalized touch of having like homegrown content.
Mm-hmm.
Like my assessment for 304 is also going to be like a personalized, like homegrown kind of feeling to it. Um, but like at the time, it was just like what Ian was mentioning, like it was just giving me wrong information or like couldn't keep up with like what was happening. I could have asked it anything about anything I wanted to make a video on, and there was a good chance it was going to be wrong just because it wasn't up to date. You know what I mean? Um, in saying that, I think within my sphere, there's a lot of uses for AI. Um, like across YouTube and whatnot, there's just so many opportunities for AI to be something fun to be playing around with. Like you see a lot of people doing YouTube Shorts and whatnot now, and it's like telling Reddit stories, and the bot's like, "When I was 15, I got a free car," and then it like reads the story out. Like I could be using AI in that kind of space, but I don't know. I haven't really thought about that yet. Maybe that's like a side project, just kind of to see how it goes, you know, and play with the idea and kind of see what I can get out of it. But yeah, at the moment, no, not really. More of a personal thing. Like it's nothing. Um, yeah, I just prefer the homegrown kind of feeling to it. But it does sound like AI is quite useful for you guys, like in the way that you guys work. Especially if you're starting out streaming, I can imagine that. Like back then, I had the benefit of being friends with a lot of big streamers and whatnot. They were able to kind of help me grow my channel. But I can imagine that starting out streaming and kind of doing that alone, like 100% alone, can feel really isolating. So to have that like kind of guide with AI, would it like help kickstart that for sure? And then obviously within the website, like as well, like you're making life for these workers a lot easier too. So I think it is quite interesting to see how AI is being used within different assessments. Like I'd love to see how people see people use it throughout the other projects as well. Because I don't know if you guys watched many of the pitches, but there was a couple of pitches in there that were quite interesting that used AI in different ways. So and it's quite fun to kind of get that.
Yeah, I guess
Um,
that's interesting. Sorry.
no, go on.
Just like think about, I guess, a challenge for us, like as a cohort. So like coming back to like with the website, obviously I'm trying to think like future proof, and what changes I can make now so that it's like still good in a few years' time rather than being like outdated. But I guess for all of us as a cohort, like thinking about what technology is now and how we can use things like AI, but not only like how we can use them, more like how we should be using them, for content creation and like online presences and everything. Um, and it's just interesting to think about, like in your case, Jackson, like you're talking more about like that homegrown stuff. Just interesting to think about what that will be like in the future, and if that's something that, like, if you're not using AI in the future, like maybe you'll struggle more. I guess just a challenge for all of us in this process to figure out what level of AI we should be using, or like what level of technology we should be using, like what's too much, what's not enough, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of where the frame, like your framing comes in, right? Is like, is
Yeah.
AI going to become the normal? Is it not going to become the normal? And if it does become the normal, like what happens with me, people that want to make it like more homegrown kind of like guerrilla style content? Like what happens to us? And then on the other hand, you know, people like Ian who are new to streaming, like how much easier is it going to be for people to kind of find an audience through AI? Or website building, is it going to be a lot easier to kind of develop a website and get your kind of feet off the ground or not? You know, it's
Yeah,
quite,
I
it
mean,
is interesting to see in that perspective.
yeah, I think even now, like I could have an AI pretty much do a lot of the website creation and design for me, but I'm just choosing not to because I think I am kind of in the stage still where I don't completely trust it to do as good of a job that I think I could do. But that's sort of brings me to like another challenge that I'm facing. It's just like learning new skills and figuring out how to do things. And there probably is stuff that an AI could do better than me, and it might be quicker. I'm just using this as an opportunity to learn those skills that might help me in the future. But that's just a more time consuming thing. And I guess you might find that with like streaming or editing as well, like trying to learn new things and how to make things better, and how to meet, I guess, again, like what technology is now. But it's time, time that I guess sometimes we are short of because obviously we have other things, other subjects, jobs, lives. And
Yeah.
when technology is changing so rapidly, it's hard to keep up and to develop those skills.
Ian, if there was something you could, yeah, tell someone tomorrow that's starting, what advice would you give? What kind of feedback would you give? What would you tell them not to do? Anything in particular? What's your key
Uh,
takeaway?
the key takeaway, if you're doing content creating like streaming or posting media online, uh, just stay consistent, develop a persona that is unique. Like people like I show speed, like they are crazy, but it's unique content. So that's why they got famous. So not telling them to go crazy, but develop a persona which is really unique that no one has seen before.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Steph, do you have anything that you would kind of point people in the direction of for website building and promotion and whatnot?
I think just in general, I'd say don't not try anything, like because you're unsure or you're scared or something like that. I think this is just the chance to try everything and just see what happens. And if it fails, just try something else. And I think just not like don't be the kind of person that just sits around waiting because you're not sure and keep putting it off and then you end up behind. I think you're better off just jumping in, trying it, and if it doesn't work, just trying something else sooner rather than later. And just don't doubt yourself when you're trying to learn new skills. Just take this as an opportunity and do what you can with it.
Yeah, good advice. I think for me, like you guys kind of both hit the nail on the head for both both parts of like doing YouTube is like have that persona that kind of not like that stands out somewhat. Even if it's just you say funny things or just the way you talk. Like have something that people remember you by.
Yeah.
And then also like just don't be afraid to do things. Like YouTube is free. It costs nothing to even turn your phone on and just record in front of your phone for 20 minutes and then upload a raw video without any editing. There's no harm in doing anything like that. Um, the one thing that I would say is start early as quick as you can. If you want to do like an
Definitely.
informational video, yeah, like if you want to do an informational video, research as quick as you can. Find all your sources, do all your research, get that script done, and then spend as much time as you possibly can editing, editing, recording, all that stuff. Don't be afraid to retake. Just just do it. You know what I mean? Like just really get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, was there anything that you guys had last second stuff you wanted to add into this one?
No, not really.
I think we've covered anything.
Yep, I think
think it's
that's
all there.
everything. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, let's wrap this up. So, Steph, Ian, thank you guys for being willing to jump in a call again and have a chat about this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you guys. It
Yeah,
was great.
thanks for having me.
Yeah, no worries. And well, yeah, I'll send you guys this video as well. But yeah, well, best of luck for your assessments, and let's hope that everything ends up going well because there's nothing worse than trying to work on something and then it just falls apart. But you guys seem like you got it all ironed out for the most part. So hopefully it keeps going that smoothly for you guys.
Yeah.
Good vibes.
Good vibes.
But yeah, no worries. All right, I'm
Alright.
gonna end my recording.